Now in the previous video of my advanced filter, you must have seen how we have worked with advanced filter unique records. Now we'll see how to work with more advanced features of Excel, advanced filter, sorry. Now you can see here that what I've done is I have copied the entire list from here below, and I've also copied the header from here to here. Now, as you can see in the advanced filter, what it requires is two things. One is the list range. That means the range which is to be filtered. So this is my entire list which I want to filter, from where I want to search the data and filter. And the second is the criteria range, which we did not use in my previous video. Because I wanted to extract unique records on one particular column, and there wasn't any criteria in which I was actually restricting the rows. But here I want to give the criteria. Now, criteria in advanced Excel is another window. It's another cell range. And this is why I have created this one, so that I can give my criteria range here. So what is the criteria which I want to give? So let's look at the first query here. Select employees where employee number is 7839. Now, if this is the query, then how are we going to execute this using advanced filter and get the required filter? So let's see. So selection of list is done. And now the criteria range. Where is the criteria window? Now I have to set this. So before that, what I want 7839. So I'll say 7839. So 7839 is what I typed here, and nothing else, because that criteria says get me all the employees where employee number is 7839. So let's do that. So we'll again come to the list, select it, go to advanced. Okay, my list is selected. The criteria window is this. Now, one thing here of caution is that don't select extra rows, because if you select extra rows, it will not work. Your filter will not work. So if you have written one row of criteria, then only select that row. Don't go on selecting an n number of rows. Okay, so your criteria is having what? The header and one row where you put the data, only select that. If you select one extra row which doesn't have any criteria, then that means that will not do the filter. It will show all records. So be careful with that, okay? And then I don't want to copy it because I want to filter in place and show you how it works. So in this case, what is my query stands? It says that select from this list that employee whose employee number is 7839. And that employee is this King. Okay, you can see here, it's King. So let's say okay. You can see, works like a regular filter. So it works like a regular filter, right? And you need to click on the clear to get back your list. Now, if I want to copy it some other location, then I would basically run the advanced part again. Here is the list. Here is the criteria range, which is okay. Already selected. Copy to, and I'll copy to this location. Okay, and say okay. So now it doesn't change this, only copies this, see? It copies the entire record of 7839 to this location. So it copies that row into this location. Now, if I'm not interested in all the columns, I'm interested in only few of the columns. Like I'm interested in ID, name, and his job. Okay, so I'll delete this, right? So I'll delete this. And I'll leave the header there and delete it. So this time I want for example, I want for 7499. 7499. this one, and I only want 3 records, right? So I'll just say advance, same thing, copy to another location, and the copy location would be this. Okay, and say okay. So just get the employee number, his name, and the job. Okay, if I'm not interested in employee number, I want the employee's salary and his job. Okay, or his commission, or his department, in fact. Okay, then I'll remove this and I will say okay. Now for employee 7782, I'll say advance. Copy to and say okay. It's not that you always need to get all the columns, but you may select your own column and show it. And this is how you can send it to a different location on your worksheet rather than changing the original list of data. Now, look at the second query. The second query says, so this query is done. So the second query says, select employee where employee number is equal to 7839 or employee number is 7844. I'll delete this first, you don't want that. So 7839 or, so anyone. So if I'm giving an or condition in my advanced filter, I'll say 7839 and I'll give 7844 below. So if you're giving anything as or, then these two lines would be picked up. So they are now connected with a or. Now your criteria window length has also increased because your criteria window was this last time. Now this should be selected because that also has become a part. So we need to change that and say okay. Data, advanced. This is the data, okay. This is my criteria range. Now my criteria range will include that as well. Okay. Now I can only pick up this also, no problem. Only this can be done. So we'll pick up this and we will say copy to another location. And of course, this is the location and this is okay for me. And say okay. So 7839 and 7844. So this is how you can do the or part of the relationship, right? As far as concerned. Now, if you look at the third query, it says that the select employee where job is equal to clerk and department is equal to sales. So here we have to, so I'll remove this and says now they are and. So this is or and this is and. So where job is equal to clerk. So job is equal to clerk and department is equal to sales. Now it becomes easy. If it is in the same line, then it is and. So it should be clerk and it should be from the department sale. So let's see. Go to the criteria. So it should be again single line, okay? So don't take that line and copy to this location. So and say okay. So 7950. So I should know the job as well. So I should know the job as well. So there is only one person who is basically a clerk in sales. So clerk in sales, there is only one. So if I give here research, and then run the query, let's see, because I'm not getting the job and the department both. So let's see. So there are two. Okay, so there are two clerks who are working as clerks in the department research. But if I just modify my query a bit and say, okay, let me all those employees who is a clerk or he's working in the department research. So I want to find out whose job is clerk or he's working in department research. So the moment I put the or, this will come down. So now these two criteria are basically related using or they will check be using or. So either this is true or this is true. If any one of them are true, please get me. So now it's not and, okay? So we'll select this, go to advanced. Criteria ranges again, I will have this also and copy to this location and say okay. So it's research or clerk. If it is research, it can be anything, right? So it's research, it's anything. If it is clerk, if it's anything other than research, it should be clerk. Okay. So this way you can use and or in the same field or in a different field and relate it. So in the next video, we will see all the other queries.